What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. And no, I am not a helicopter pilot. But as I listen back to some of these videos, when I get up to certain speeds, I'm like, sometimes I can't hear myself all that well because, there's car noises and sounds and stuff going on as I'm driving. So I figured I'd toss these headphones on and, make myself a little bit clearer to hear on here. So, what is this video going to be about? Well, there are times in the lives of a YouTuber, and especially someone who talks about something that is as controversial as Kratom, where I have to go on and make further clarification about my position on certain things, right? Now, I try to do that every once in a while, and you guys who have been following me for a while, you know that I do that. That I'll come on every once in a while and make sure to tell everyone, hey, I don't land on either side of the fence on Kratom. So if you're still using Kratom, if you're still a Kratom user, you're still welcome to the channel. I'm not trying to tell anyone that they should do this or shouldn't do that, or that they should quit or they should not quit. That's just not what I do on here. You guys know that about me, right? I also have not ever said, and I never will say, that Kratom itself is a bad thing. Now, I think that the way some people use it is bad, but I can never be accused of demonizing Kratom on here because Kratom itself is just a plant. But it is absolutely a fact that the way some people use it and the kind of relationship that some people get in with it becomes very demonic for them. Okay? So I'm not demonizing Kratom, but we have to be honest in that for some people, Kratom becomes a demon. Okay? So I brought my other phone with me real quick just so I could read this comment that I woke up to this morning. And I go through stages when I see comments like this. At first, it kind of pisses me off because I'm like, you come on and you never been on my channel before. You watch one video out of my 350 videos and you think that you know my stance on Kratom. That's a little bit irritating. It's kind of like, going online and, it's kind of like when COVID was going on. People were going online and sharing news that just wasn't true. And then the next thing you know, everybody's in this frenzy thinking that, if COVID touches you, you're just going to immediately drop dead. It's that sort of thing. That's a little bit more of an extreme example. So, that's not extreme. That's not perfectly accurate. But anyway, I'm not trying to put this person in that particular boat. But I want to read the comment. Veggie BBR says, this, in all caps, Kratom, also in all caps, has been a godsend for me. Been using it since 2007. Anything can be abused, be it sugar, pop, coffee, etc., which are more addictive in my opinion. No, they're not, bro. But okay. Kratom can be the main help in this opioid death epidemic. You should be praising it, not demonizing it. But Merca. I mean, I'm not really up on my, I guess, young people slang or talk, or I don't know what Merca is. So, I don't mean to sound like an idiot, but I don't know what that is. And I'm being completely serious when I say I don't know what that is. MURCA. It's probably an acronym for something, I imagine. Um, but hell, I don't know. But somebody's welcome to drop that in the comments if you can figure out what Merca means. Um, but anyway, that's the comment. So at first, I get kind of pissed off when I see this because I'm like, this person doesn't know anything about me, about my channel, about what I talk about on here. And I was on Kratom for over 5 years. How could I demonize it? I was on it, you know. Um, but then I get to a point where I'm like, then I kind of feel bad for them because I'm like, damn, that must suck, you know, to go through life just. It kind of goes back to just the whole believe in everything you read or hear on the internet. You know, people will go online and they get like a real quick snapshot or a real quick soundbite of something, and then they just assume that that must be true, that must be fact. Or in this case, you know, you listen to one 20-minute video out of thousands of hours of video and thousands of hours of content that I've created, and he gets that snapshot and assumes, oh, this is the way this guy feels about this. This is what this guy preaches about this. This is what this guy is about, right? It must suck to go through life like that because you're not giving yourself a chance and giving yourself the opportunity to learn more. By example, just a few videos ago, I mean, it was probably like 3 or 4 videos ago. So, you know, my guy, based on your comment, you're probably not listening to any more of my material because you probably think I'm some sort of Kratom hater. But if you are, well, no, he may be actually, because I told him I responded to his comment this morning and told him that I would read his comment and respond to it in my next video. So he may listen for that. Um, and I don't want to pick on you, dude. I don't want to pick on anybody on here. I'm not that type of dude. I'm not a bully. Okay. But I made a video just 3 or 4 videos ago that would have been perfect for you to listen to. If you would have listened to that one first and then listened to the one about 7-hydroxy, you wouldn't even have made that comment. Because I have said on this channel uh, thousands of times that kratom itself is just a plant. Okay? Kratom itself is just a plant. There's nothing demonic about a plant. But when it comes to the way a lot of people use it, it absolutely becomes a demon for them. And I can 1,000% assure you of that. And it surprised me that his response was that you should be praising it, not demonizing it. And it's helping people through the opioid epidemic and all this other stuff. When the video was about mostly an individual that reached out to me who is on the 7-hydroxy and he wants to come off of it and he can't get off of it and is spending up to $150 a day on the product. Okay? So when you look at an example like that, you have to think. You have to be honest, bro. It's not helping everyone. Okay? Kratom might be okay for some people, but it ain't helping everybody, bro. In fact, there are a fair number of people out there who it is hurting more than it's helping. Okay? And I just want to be clear about that. I also want to be clear about one more thing. Kratom is kratom. 7-hydroxy is a derivative alkaloid of kratom, which scientists have taken, isolated it, made it about 100 times stronger than a natural amount of 7-hydroxy that's found within kratom. They've stuck it in a bottle with a couple of more like citric acid type potentiators, and you shake that rascal up, and then they're able to market it for 20, 25 bucks because it gets you high as fuck. Higher than any kratom powder would ever get you. Okay? And so that's the stuff that I think is ruining it for not just KRATOM users, but those KRATOM users who are using it properly, who are using it moderately, who are truly getting the benefits that KRATOM offers. Okay? Because I can tell you now that most of the people that are using KRATOM are either current opiate addicts or former opiate addicts. And as if you didn't know this, opiate addicts aren't the best at moderating substances, okay? Opiate addicts definitely aren't the best at moderating substances that have an opioid type effect. I know kratom is not considered an opioid, but if it quacks like a duck and walks like a duck, it's what? Right. I don't care if it's an opiate or not. If it gives you the feels that an opiate gives you, then an opiate addict is absolutely going to fall for that hook, line, and sinker every time. Every time. Right? So, I talked about this just a couple of videos ago. How, there are people out there who aren't former opiate addicts, who get some sort of benefit, whether it be help with anxiety, whether it be help with chronic pain. They take a little bit of it every day, 2, 3, 4 grams a day, and they get a benefit in that way, and they never really go above that amount, and it helps them. And I don't have any problem with that, my guy. And even if I did have a problem with it, I'm just some guy who's had his own struggles with opiates and his own struggles with kratom. So it doesn't really matter what I think. But I'm here to tell you that most people who use kratom are not using it responsibly. Okay? I would say the number using it responsibly versus the number that are not using it responsibly is not very even. I would say more people are probably abusing it than people who are not. But it it's just funny to hear somebody parrot back to me things that I have actually said myself on this channel thousands of times. And then for them to come on one video when they've never seen any of my other videos, and for them to tell me those things as though they're teaching me something and pointing at me while they're teaching it, you know. Um, you, and listen, a lot of you guys, oh, come on, why are you worried about the trolls? Right? No, I'm an educator, guys. It's about educating people, and it's not about getting back at the trolls. And besides, I don't think this guy was a troll. I think that he came on, he saw the video, he drew a conclusion from watching that video, whether correct or incorrect, that I was somehow putting down kratom, or I was one of these people on here that are just talking shit about kratom every day. And that is not at all what I do. You guys who have been following me for a while, you know this. You know that's not what I do on here. So he wasn't a troll. He wasn't trying to troll me. This is what he really thought. It's what he really thought. He really thought that, that's what I do on here. Now, he was being presumptuous in thinking that, by assuming that before consuming some of my other content and really seeing what it is that I'm all about. But, to tell me that coffee is addictive and so is sugar, and more addictive in my opinion, that to me, that's bordering on trolling right there. Because, bro, you ain't going to convince me of that. You're not going to convince any experienced kratom users of that. All right? Because I guarantee you, coffee it might be a little bit of an imposition for a few days for me to try to put coffee down, but I could put coffee down 1,000 times easier than I could put down some kratom. Okay? And I think that everyone else on this channel probably knows that and feels the same way. So when you start saying stuff like that to me, that feels more like you're trolling. And that feels more like you just think everybody else is stupid and that you have all the answers. Sorry, bro. We're not buying it. We're not buying it. I'm not buying it for sure. Um, and just to be clear to you, my man, I don't demonize kratom because kratom is just a plant. Okay? But just like alcohol can be used responsibly, and there's people that go to work all day and then they come home and they have themselves a couple of beers. No harm, no foul, right? Now, let's talk about those people who get to a point with alcoholism where they have a bottle of liquor sitting beside their bed, their alarm goes off in the morning, and the first thing they do when they wake up is take a swig of liquor. And then they're mixing it into their coffee or into their soda and they're drinking it on the way to work. And then they get to work, and the very first break they have after 2 or 3 hours of being at work, they run out to their car and take a few swigs. And then they go back in and they barely make it to lunch before they come back out and take another swig. You know, let's talk about let let's say it for what it is, bro. Let's say it for what it is. And when it comes to something like kratom, you can't select and choose the data set. If you're going to be able to do a real true to life honest assessment of kratom, what it is to everyone, what it means to everyone, you can't pluck from only one particular data set, right? It's like when we start talking about the alcohol and the effects of alcohol and the effects of alcoholism on people, we can't get an accurate study if we're only plucking those people who go home and have a couple of beers in the evening or have a couple of beers when they go out to dinner or a glass of wine at night and then go to sleep and then get up and do what they need to do the next day and don't touch alcohol again until the next night or a couple of days later or whatever. Those are social users, right? There are social users and then there's abusers. Those are two different things, my man. So if you're going to get an accurate uh, study and assessment of kratom, alcohol, anything else, you can't just pluck it from one data set and say, well, this is the way it is, and kratom's a godsend. I mean, maybe for you, maybe for some other people, maybe for that guy, maybe for that guy, maybe for that guy, but not for the guy who was begging me for help to help him try to get off of 7-hydroxy, who was spending $150 a day on it. Not for hundreds and countless of others that I've seen on my channel, on this channel, in the past 2 years since I've been running it, who were telling me they were way over their heads with kratom and they really needed to get off of it and they were in a bad spot and it was killing them and blah, 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 blah. I cannot tell you all the things I've heard. So if we're gonna if we're gonna rate it and if we're gonna do a study on it and if we're going to tell it like it is, we got to pluck from all the different data sets, man. You know, we can't just pluck from the people that it's a godsend for or that is helping them with pain or is helping them with anxiety and they're using it moderately. We can't just pluck from them. You know, we also are forced, if we're to be honest about it, we're also forced to pluck from the data set of those people that are waking up first thing and taking the liquor bottle to the head and then mixing the liquor on the way to work and then drinking it at lunch and then drinking it when they first on the way home in the evening, and then drinking it when they get home, and then drinking it before dinner and after dinner, and they pass out every night in a drunken stupor. Because I'm telling you now that there are people that use kratom that way. Okay? Okay? So if you want a true assessment of kratom and its impacts, you have to pluck from all data sets: the people who use it responsibly, the people who use it semi responsibly, the people who go on benders with it and sometimes use it responsibly and then sometimes they're irresponsible, and then the people that are just completely out of freaking control with it and don't know how to use it responsibly. You got to take from all of those if you're going to be honest about kratom and what it is to the people in this country. Okay? Um, you can't data pluck. Can't do that. And I don't do that on here. So if to you that means I'm demonizing the substance, then no offense, bro, no offense, but that's just ignorance on your part, because I'm not demonizing anything. But what I am is aware of these different data sets. I'm aware that there are people that can use it responsibly. And I've talked about this. You missed it because you just found the channel. I understand you just found the channel. So you hadn't listened to all my other stuff. But I used my wife as an example about this quite a lot. When I was using kratom heavily, my wife would use it. But my wife would get up in the morning and she would take a little bit of it with her coffee just to kind of get her going, she gave her a little bit of energy throughout the day. And then she wouldn't take it again for the rest of the day. And then in the morning, she was only taking like, gram and a half, 2 grams. She would take like maybe 3 capsules, 4 capsules, something like that, which were a half gram apiece. So she wasn't taking much. She never had any issues with kratom. She never had any withdrawals. She never had any rebound depression from taking so much kratom. She was a perfect example of a person who she could just use it responsibly. She just made that way. But my wife is also not a former opiate addict. So she has the ability to control something like an opiate, right? Whereas many of others across the land that are using kratom don't have that ability to control it, including myself. I can't control it. Okay? So I know where you were coming with. I know where you were coming from. But I just want to let you know, man, I'm not demonizing kratom. I'm not demonizing kratom. Kratom is just a plant, and kratom itself can't do anything wrong. You know, just like sugar is just sugar, coffee is just coffee, kratom is just kratom, alcohol is just alcohol. They are all inanimate objects that can do nothing to us that we don't first allow them to do to us. Okay? So it can't be demonized as far as I'm concerned. It's a plant. It's a plant. Plants do not have a brain. Plants do not have self consciousness. They don't know to do anything to us. We are the cognitive beings that should be able to control how we consume that plant. But guess what? A lot of us can't. Many people can't. So if you have anything to say back, you're welcome to say it, man. I'm not on here to pick on you or argue with you, although conflict does sell. Conflict does sell. But I just wanted to let you know, you saw just a small snapshot of what I talk about on here. And I talked about that particular thing because I had someone reach out to me recently about the 7-hydroxy products, right? And this was way less about just kratom in general and more about these adulterated forms, these really, really strong adulterated forms of kratom products that are coming out. But don't get it twisted, man. Don't get it twisted. I don't judge on here. And I have plenty of people on here that are still using Kratom. They still pop on the channel all the time. And I say what's up to them, and I talk to them and have a relationship with them, just like I have with the people who are trying to come off of it or have come off of it. Makes no difference to me, bro. You know, and drug addiction and substance abuse is the only condition where someone must self diagnose. No one else can diagnose it for you. They can try to, but it's not going to matter because you're the one that's going to have to admit that you have some sort of issue or that it's causing negative consequences in your life before you'll be willing to do anything about it, right? So nobody else can tell you anything anyway. So I don't. I don't. That's one of the reasons people like this channel. That's one of the reasons that my subscribers are a mix of people that are no longer on Kratom and a mix of people that are still taking it and trying to figure out where they are with it. Some people are good with where they are. They don't plan on quitting. It's okay with me. It's okay with me. That's for you to know. You know how you feel about that when you lay down at night. You know what I'm saying? And that's for you to know. That's not for me to know. I'm not inside your head when you lay your head on that pillow at night. So I think I've covered my bases. Um, anyway, just had to put that out there. Wanted to kind of, I like to educate people. It's not about responding to the trolls, guys. It's about letting everyone know where I stand on Kratom, but in that is the answer and is the mindset that everyone should have about Kratom. And everyone should know and understand that Kratom, for some people, just like the gentleman said, is a godsend, can be a godsend. If you flip that coin over, there are also a data set of people that are getting fucked by it. And when I mean fucked with a sandpaper condom by Kratom. Okay? There's both, bro. There's both. And if we're going to be honest, we have to. We are forced to look at both. All right? Can't just point out one and, oh, well, this is the way it is. No, no, that's not the way it is because I can point to 1,000 people that are fucking struggling with it. Okay? So, and I'm sure, people that are taking it responsibly. You may be one of those people that take it responsibly. You're in a good place with your Kratom use. It's not really giving you any trouble. It's been a godsend for you. Great. Great. I have no issue with that. But I just want to be clear, that it's in the mind of the beholder, and everyone's case is different, you know, and there's both sides of the spectrum, you know. Have to look at all data sets, guys. All right, I gotta go. I'm about to hit this gym up. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I want to say this. Thank you so much for the support. I've had so many people to become members. We got level 1 memberships and level 2 memberships. The level 1 is $2.99 a year. That's $3 a year, guys. The level 2 lunch breaker membership is $4.99 a year. That's $5. I'm sorry, a month. $5 a month, guys. $3 a month for level 1, $5 a month for level 2. And I just became monetized recently, and I've got 3 members so far. I had another one added recently. I just really appreciate that. I've had people giving me super thanks. If you look below this video, if you appreciate the content, the education that I give on here about Kratom, hit that thanks button down there. The one that's got a money symbol and a thanks, hit that. Toss me a couple of bucks. That gives me fuel to keep this service out here and to keep being able to educate people on it, right? And I've had a lot of people doing that recently, and I'm just incredibly grateful. Incredibly grateful. I hope you guys will continue to do it. I'll put down in the description the link to become a member. If you guys would love to become a member, I would love to grow my member base so that we can start doing live membership streams and stuff like that, and we can discuss things, talk about where everybody's at, really give people some help in these areas, whether you're good with Kratom or whether you're not. I want to hear from you. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate the support, and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about all this. All right. Love you very much. I'll see you next time. Peace.